absolute maxima and minima. The absolute maximum of f at x equals c is f of c, where f of c is bigger than or equal to f of x for all x in the domain of f. So if we look below here, we're looking for the largest y value on the entire domain. That's what we're saying here, and that's going to be the maximum, the absolute maximum. Now for the next part here, it says the absolute minimum. So the absolute minimum of f at x equals d is fd, where fd is smaller than or equal to f of x for all x in the domain of f. So for the entire domain, is this the smallest or equal to the smallest value? So the domain is all possible x values. And when I look at my x-axis here, that's my measuring stick. So how far left, how far right, and how far everything in between. And it's measured using the x values. Okay, so when I look at those x values, I can see that the function stops here. And so I'm going to draw, so I have a line here all the way to here because it also stops there. Okay, and then it picks up again here. So that's going to go from there all the way to this asymptote here. So it's going to be all of that. And then it's going to pick up again after that, and it's going to go from here to here. So that's actually going to be the domain of f. So I'm going to write out those values here so you can see exactly what they are. Okay, so when I look at this domain goes from -9 to -2. It goes from -1 to 7, and it goes from 8 to 9. So what I'm going to do now is just look at all of those y values and say, hey, which one is the largest or greater than or equal to a large value, the largest value. So, and I'm going to call all of those my absolute maxima. So I can have multiple absolute maxima. So when I look at this whole graph, the highest y value is up here. So that number is 9. So that's the highest y value, and it happens at 9. Oh, wow, so that's the point 9, 9. Okay, can be a little confusing. So the absolute maximum is going to be the 0.99, or we could say the absolute maximum occurs at x equals 9. So the absolute maximum occurs at x equals 9. That's another way we could say that, or just write the 0.99. So the absolute minimum is the smallest value on that interval, from -9 to -2, and 1 to 7, and 8 to 9. And on that whole interval, what is the smallest value? And that's what my FD is, the smallest value on that whole, smallest y value on that whole interval. And if you notice, this one here keeps going downward. So that says it's going to go down to -infinity. So since it goes down to -infinity, and that's the smallest value, even though that's not really a value, then I would say this would have none. So there is not one absolute minimum for this function. So that's it.